Today I'm going to share with you how to achieve this natural looking holiday makeup. Sometimes it's not about how you apply your makeup, but how much makeup that you are applying. The goal is to feel beautiful and confident without feeling overdone. And that is exactly what today's holiday makeup look is all about. All right, so let's get into our natural holiday makeup. Today we're going to be starting off with a combination of my favorite BB cream and my favorite liquid illuminizer, and I'm going to use them together. I'm going to do 2 pumps of my BB cream and a little half pump of my Sheer Glow. This is shade Vintage Rose, and they're both Gibson Girl. Just gonna marry them together a little bit for applying to my face. And the liquid highlighter just adds a nice glow, which is what we want for our holiday makeup. You can always apply the highlighter before your BB cream. You can use a traditional foundation, of course, for this look. We are trying to keep it nice and natural, so that is why we're sticking with our BB cream. See how that gave me just a very nice, natural looking, glowy finish. Just what we want for this holiday makeup look. Next, I'm gonna do my brows. I'm gonna use this Gibson Girl brow powder, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put it on real quick because it's going to be just a very natural look, so I don't want to intensify my brows that much. I just want to make them look a little bit more filled in, and I am choosing a brow powder so that it stays nice and natural looking. Next, we're going to use a little bit of this Catrice eye brightener. I'm going to use it as a eyelid primer, and I'm going to use it as a color corrector under my eyes, and this is shade Light Rose. I always use this as a base for my eye colors. It has a nice dewy finish, so it's really perfect for somebody like me who has dry skin. And it gives you a nice wide awake look, and do not skip out on these inner corners of your eyes because that gives it a nice wide awake look. I'm gonna put a little bit under my eyes, not a lot though, because we're gonna be laying our concealer over this, and we don't want to create a creepy effect. I believe pushing it in with your fingers creates more longevity over time, over the day, versus your makeup brush. I guess it's because of the warmth of the skin. But it takes a little bit longer and more patience, so it's not something we have time for every day. All right, next we're gonna be using this MAC Paint Pot shade Soft Orca. This is a neutral flesh tone, and I mean, yeah, I'd say neutral for the most part. I go back and forth between Painterly, which is like a little bit more cooler, but because of the makeup look I'm going for today, we're gonna do a little bit more neutral base. And this goes great right over that color corrector as well. And not a whole lot because I am going to be setting it with a powder shadow next. So I don't really need to do a whole lot, but it will make your eyeshadow last much longer. Next, we're gonna be having fun with this Naked palette. This is Naked Sin. It's a mini palette. I'm gonna go in with Bad Habit, which is this very light shade. It isn't matte, but it's not shimmery either. So it's just a nice color to create brightness on your lower lid. And I'm using this flat brush, this flat shadow brush, to stamp it in. It's giving Winter Wonderland so far. Now just keeping this on our lower lid. This is actually a very pretty palette for what we're doing today. I don't get to play with some of these colors in here very often on a regular basis, but for our little natural holiday makeup look, there's some fun colors in here. We will get into that. All right, so we're just kind of getting rid of any excess feathering it in, just softening it out. All right, now I know this is very unconventional, but just hear me out. We're gonna put our lips on next. Because we are using a red today, I like to put my lipstick on if it's a bold color first, because then it lets me feel out how much color I want on the rest of my face. So we're gonna play with one of the two of these matte McGrath lipsticks. Each of them are red. One is called Fever Dream and the other one is Elson, and these are both one of Taylor Swift's, I guess, favorites, and I had a hard time finding a full one, but look how cute these little mini guys are. So I think for our natural holiday look, I'm gonna go with the red that's just a little bit more approachable. This one is awesome, it's gorgeous, but I feel like it's just a little bit more like red. Whereas this one, which is the Fever Dream, is just a little bit more, I don't know, like I said, approachable. I can't really describe it any other way, but let me show you so you can see the difference. That guy, I mean, do you see what I'm saying? I mean, maybe not, maybe you think I'm crazy, but either way, we're going with approachable red today. And we're skipping the lip liner. We're not doing lip liner because it's a natural look. And you don't really need a full red tube of red lipstick because let's be honest, how often do you go full? How often do you go through a red lip? All right, I'm gonna use a combination of that and my detail brush. It's just a regular old lip brush. I have not used this particular color formula yet, so I'm not sure the longevity, but we're putting it to the test today. I just used a pointy Q-tip to clean up under there, and it is definitely something that you should have on hand when doing a red lip. Now I'm just gonna go back in and make sure I saturate it a little bit more. Feels very nice on the lips. I don't know, it doesn't feel like something that's gonna last a long time, but it's okay. And I just cut my hair off and it's a little bit darker, so I feel like I need a red lip. So this feels like it's gonna bring life back into my face. Now that I have my bright lips on, we're gonna go back to our eyes. I feel like now that I can accommodate for that lip color and I'm not gonna overdo my eyes and my cheeks. So next we're gonna go in with Unlucky right here, this guy. And we are going to just tap it in. This is a very pretty, sparkly color. And I'm gonna use my fingers too because we wanna get a little bit more pigment. Little combo finger stamping action. And because it's a holiday look, you know what? We're gonna add more than we maybe normally would. And a little trick, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you. If you have dry eyes and get a little bit of more mature skin and you get it too close to the inner corners and you feel like it's making you look crepey, take a primer and just take a little bit with your makeup brush, your finger, and just go in there and smooth that out. I don't know if you could see, but that, look what that did. I'll show you on the other side. I mean, magic, right? And that is a silicone-based primer. I haven't really tried it with any other primer, but that one, it just really does the trick. Next, I'm gonna use the OG sculpting stick. This is shade Copper. It's my favorite for bronzing. And look, we're gonna put a little bit of color up there. And we're going to let's just use our fingers up there. This is just giving us some nice warmth to add to that glowiness that we added to our eyes, that nice holiday glowiness. And just a cheek angle brush, and we are gonna push that other bronzer into the skin. This is just our first layer of color. Like I said, it's still very natural for holiday makeup, okay? But we don't want to be ghostly with our red lips, so we definitely need to add color. Nothing crazy. I mean, look, I did barely add in any. But you can see how having the lips on really just allows you to see how much color you should or should not apply. but it brought me back to life. I'm trying to figure out if I want to do any eyeliner up in my lash line. I think I might just a little bit, ever so slightly, adding our chocolate brown Gibson Girl waterproof eyeliner. But I'm gonna use, like I said, ever so slightly, just a little bit up in this lash line. You don't have to do this part either. This will take it up a notch if you do, but don't worry about doing any like eyeliner, wing eyeliner. We don't have time for that. We don't want to deal with trying to perfect it for hours. This is just a lot more, manageable. All right, that's all I did. And I didn't use black. I mean, it's a very dark chocolate brown, so it kind of looks black to me, but it's not. It's not as harsh as black. All right, so lashes, ladies. Always curl your lashes no matter what. It is a non-negotiable. Holiday look or not. All right, I've been loving like the burgundy black honey mascara situation lately, but I don't really want it to clash with my lips, even though it looks more like a dark brown. But we are going to be using black today. This is the MAC 3D Extreme Dimension 3D. This is what I like to use when I want my lashes to be like, ow. But definitely go for brown if that's your thing. If you have really light eyelashes and you want to keep the look more natural even. And I usually do 2 coats, but guess what? We're keeping it natural. We're going to do 1 coat. All right, so now that I'm evaluating my makeup as is, I could either maybe add some mascara on my lower lashes, or I could go in with just a little bit of drop shadow. I'm going to start with that, just a little bit of drop shadow. Since we're just going to be simple, we're going to use the same palette, and we're going to choose a color in here that we think would look good in our lower lash line. And I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to combine Twisted with TBH, the last 2 colors right here. I'm going to use a little smudgy brush, and I'm just going to pick up some product of these 2 little equal parts, if you will. Now that is, see, I just put a little bit on and like, wow, that's a lot. I feel like my makeup, I just add a little bit and it looks extreme. I still kind of feel like it needs just a little bit of mascara on my lower lashes. Just a little bit, okay? Just a touch. Ever, just. Now we're gonna do our concealer and then we'll add just a tiny bit more cheek color. The Gibson Girl Liquid Concealer, such a very lightweight concealer. This is shade in 2. And we're gonna be patient with this one today as well because we want longevity. So we're gonna use majority of our fingers and we're gonna just start to work it in and let it dry and get a little tacky before finishing blending it out. All right, so now I'm gonna pick up my little fluffy concealer brush, my favorite right now by Yummy Face. Of course, everything I'm gonna be using, I will link in the description. So if you are interested. All right, so next we're gonna add some cheek color. And we don't need a ton. I'm actually using the same one, but instead of applying it like I did before, I'm gonna use this angled brush and tap it in. And I don't know why, but this color, it just looks like a blush and a bronzer combined. So sometimes you don't need to add a blush, which I am not going to. We forgot that guy. All right, so this makeup look might not be that natural for most people, but for people who are expecting to go out and have a holiday glam party, you don't always have to put like all the makeup on, all the eyeliner on, all the eyeshadow, smoky eye situation. Like all you need sometimes is just a little bit of sparkle and a red lip and you're good to go. Hopefully you're learning a little something from this video, even if you don't do all the techniques. I mean, obviously it's not a natural everyday look, but it is definitely a natural holiday look. All right, so I'm loving that so far. I'm gonna set my under eyes with a loose translucent invisible powder by Gibson Girl. This is very natural and very lightweight. No baking here. You just wanna just lightly tap it in or feather it in. And now, as you notice, I'm really only doing this in my T-zone. I want to maintain the dewy glow. You can see how that kind of like blurred out my pores that are larger right here. I don't know if you can see, but it did. It sure did. All right, so if you wanted to add a little bit more cheek, here would be the time to do it. But what I'm gonna do now is finish with a setting spray. This is Gibson Girl setting spray. If you like lavender, it has a nice, lovely lavender scent. All right, there you have it. This natural holiday makeup look. I hope I inspired you for your next holiday event. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite part of this makeup look was. And if you want to support me and my channel, I would love it if you gave this video a thumbs up and if you shared it with a friend, and definitely subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss out on any more of my beauty tips. And I will see you in the next one.